Hello and welcome to Canutillo Convos, the official CISD podcast. This is episode 2, and we're here. Yeah, thank you. We're here with our fearless leader, Superintendent Dr. Pedro Galviz. Dr. Galviz, how are you doing?
We're all fearless leaders here in Canutillo. Anyone that has a badge is a fearless.
Great. We have two amazing guests today.
Yes.
To help us discuss different topics. We have from Bill Childress Elementary School, our principal there, Mr. John Flores.
Yay.
Thank you.
Went to Harvard. He went to Harvard this summer.
Yeah. And we also have to discuss some important fine arts discussions. We have the director of the Canutillo School of Music, Dr. Regino Ramos.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Ramos. Hook 'em. I'm sorry.
No, guns up.
Guns up. I'm sorry.
Great. So we it's an important week for Canutillo and school districts throughout the region. We had our first day of school, week of school. We just finishing that first week. And it went really well. In Canutillo, we were able to open up our schools, welcome our kids back, and do so in a healthy, safe environment. We saw a lot of happy faces, a lot of kids excited to be back. Some of them maybe not so much, but they have no other option, right, but to get an education here in the best small school district in Texas. And, Mr. Flores, we were at your campus, Dr. Galviz and I.
Yes.
And we were really happy with the sort of welcome that you provided, that you created an atmosphere that was just jovial. There was a lot of music, there was a lot of fist bumping, and a lot of teachers happy to see their kids and welcoming them, and parents walking over and participating in the dropping off of kids. Tell us a little bit about the preparation for the first day of school. How did that come about?
Absolutely. So when you take a step back, this is our first full year bringing back parents, because the last time we had a welcome was 3 years ago prior to the pandemic. So what our team really wanted to ensure was that kids felt safe, parents felt a safe, welcoming environment, and that we're at elementary, so we have a big party. And so we invited Card My Yard, and so we provided that opportunity for our parents to have a photo op. We had signage through the dropout zone welcoming our parents and our students. And then music, I think, is the icing on the cake, and that's going to give you that. So we had Disney music playing at the entrance.
Why Disney? A whole new world.
So our theme this year at BCE.
Why not Cool in the Gang?
So our theme this year is Dream, Believe, and Achieve. And it all goes back to, I think COVID took a lot from us, and COVID just deflated a lot of us. And so we kind of wanted to bring back that magic back into our learning with our kids, with our teachers and our staff. So our theme this year is Dream, Believe, and Achieve. And so we connected it with all things Disney. And so we've all been to Disney. And when you walk in, the first thing you walk in when you're buying the tickets, you just hear that music, that music that just gets you excited, that you feel the goosebumps as you're walking in. And I've gone with my kids, I've gone with adults before, and so our team just wanted to ensure that you only get one first day of school, and you have to start strong, and so we just welcomed our kids. It was about fist bumps. It was about just welcoming mom and dad. There was so much reservations about coming back with all the events that have been happening across the nation and across the world. But it was just so important for us just to provide parents that comfort that they needed on that first day. Come into our school. This is how we do business. This is your child's classroom. We did have an open house the week before, which allowed the parents, grandparents, abuelitos, tíos, anybody that wanted to come, just to come walk the campus, see where their child's classroom was. So it was a very smooth start. Parents knew where to park. We had some different drop-off procedures, but everybody knew exactly what to do. Security was there. Our awesome central office team, Dr. Galviz, Mr. Reveles, and Miss Melendez were there greeting the kids. So it was all hands on deck, and it was truly a awesome start to the year.
Well, I've been first as a reporter and now as a school communications person. I've been doing first day of school since 1997, right? Covering it and making sure that we're there. And a goal of mine every year is like, make sure you guys get a photo of a crying kindergartner, right? Like that's such a cute photo because it's so relevant and so parents can relate to that
Absolutely.
that feeling. And then we always get a crying parent too, because that's also relevant to when you're doing this. Yeah, and we were able to get a couple of them at your school. You know, those kids sort of being scared to be alone for the first time without mom and dad. But your teachers did a great job of really embracing that and welcoming them and making both the kid and the parent feel like everything's going to be just fine. And that great learning is going to happen.
Absolutely. It was all hands on deck, and I couldn't be prouder of the team and everybody that helped. And, you know, everybody was so excited to welcome our kids back. And so, truly, it was a great first day for all.
You know, Dr. Ramos, you and I spent the first day of school pretty early on together. We were on the field. We were doing first day of school media with KFOX and CBS4. Thank you, first of all, for getting up early and coming over to with your drum line.
Well, thank you. I wish I could have drank coffee before, but we don't drink coffee during marching season. But we were glad to be there.
How do you not drink coffee during marching season? That is.
Oh no! I asked the band not to drink caffeinated or power drinks, energy drinks. So in order to support them, I don't drink coffee because it causes cramps. You dehydrate. Oh. So if I'm going to tell them to do something, I'm going to do the same thing. And it's hard, believe me. At this age, whoa, you got to have that cup of coffee in the morning.
You know, and the team did great on TV. They sounded amazing, and you shared some breaking news during this interview. Is that your band for the first time in Canutillo history is going to be competing in Bands of America, which is one of the biggest marching band tournaments.
Awesome.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. I mean, the band program's been around for 52 years, and in all those years, we've wanted to the past several years, but it's expensive. It's usually held in San Diego, San Antonio, and you know, you're looking at $1,200 a kid to go, and it's happened so early in the year that it's kind of tough. But this year we were blessed that it's in Las Cruces at NMSU on September 17th. So back in January when we received the invite, I couldn't turn it down. It's an amazing opportunity for our kids to compete on a national stage, to see national bands from around the country, not just the region and not just from Texas. It opens their eyes to a whole new level of marching band. Plus, it makes us as band directors raise the bar for ourselves and for our kids, because the performance really has to be outstanding.
Where do you think your kids are right now in comparison to other bands in the region? Are they going to do pretty well at Bands of America and any other competition this year? What's your marching program like this year?
Well, let me just backtrack just a little bit. Pre-COVID, 2-3 years leading into the whole COVID thing, the band was just on the rise, pumping. We made the finals at the Socorro Marching Contest, which is a contest that's judged by BOE standards by Bands of America judges, and we placed 4th place overall. Then this year, coming out of COVID, we once again made the finals and placed 4th. We were 2 of the top bands, of the top 4 bands that were there 2 years prior. So our band is doing well. The kids are doing well. Their spirits are very high. They're excited about this new opportunity. We're shooting for everything. We're shooting to make the finals at BOA. And with everything that we've been working on, I think we've got a good shot.
Dr. Al, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Given summer, given you seniors, how do you prepare, like when you know you got the invite, and now on September 17th, right, you're going to show up. Like, how do you, over the summer, everyone, I mean, what's the preparation like? And then, I don't know, I'm just, how do you work your magic? Oh, and then, what's the theme? Because you always have a theme, a song. Is that a secret? I don't know.
No, this year the theme is Witch Doctor.
Which
And the amazing thing is that our assistant band director, Adam Castañeda, is arranging all the music for the band. So he
that's
custom
amazing.
wrote it for us.
Oh, wow.
And he himself has participated in a DCI, which is professional
Yes.
marching bands. So he is in contact with show designers from across the country. So we brought in some of the top show designers, some of the top choreographers, and we've been working for months now designing the show. So you asked about summer. We started summer band July 11th with the kids, and we went for 2 weeks up until the very day when school began. So the kids have been working. They've been learning basics. There's only certain things UIL allows us to work on during that time, and we worked on those. But come the first day of school, we were already out on the practice field. So it's been exciting. The kid, more than anything, is the energy that the kids have that I think feeds us as band directors, and we just get really excited when they're excited.
Dr. Galviz, I think signs of a school district and a school system that is progressive and forward-thinking is really looking at several things, but fine arts is one of them, right?
Oh, yeah.
You can really measure the innovation and the sort of commitment based on the investment in fine arts. What do you see is the future of fine arts in Canutillo ISD?
Well, I think with Dr. Ramos, I know we were talking before about getting orchestra and expanding our program so kids have more opportunities. You mentioned the awesome teacher at BCE, AMS, and again, it's an investment. It's an investment. But before we go there, when you talk about fine arts and the art, I want you to just talk about the mural at the outlet. Because your beautiful wife, your awesome wife, I mean, because when you did your speech, you talked about the history and what happened. Can you just talk about that mural that represents Canutillo there at the outlet?
Well, my wife is an amazing person. Not just because she's my wife, but she really is. For years, she's been wanting to do a project like this with the district. So knowing the history of our town and the connection between the school district and the history of town and the founding members of this town, she went out and researched it. She got interviewed people that had primary evidence of the people back in 110 years ago. And she put it together. She got collaborators from all the campuses. It was all the band directors, all the art teachers from the secondary campuses.
They did an awesome job.
All female, and they got young ladies from all the secondary campuses that they were going to mentor. So this was an all-female ensemble, and it was for the purpose of showing these young ladies the possibilities in art for them. It was much more than the mural. The mural became a vehicle to teach these kids, hey, this is what you can do. And it was just a fantastic experience. A lot of work went into it. My wife, I didn't see her for about 3 weeks leading to the very end of it. Very dedicated. The kids were very dedicated, and so were the other faculty. So we really appreciate all of them.
Oh, that's awesome. So it was intentional. Like
Very
every
intentional.
teaching, no matter what it's band, art, math, English, if we're intentional about the outcomes, intentional about who's going to be at the table, who's going to do it, we get great things. But here's a question. If we were in the next 100 years, and maybe this is for Mrs. Ramos or anyone at the table, what would the next mural be if they were to paint us in the next 100 years? What would you want it to be? What?
Wow. Well, you know what? I'm a K through 12 product of this district. I love this school. I love this district. We are the best small district in Texas. I believe we're the best district in Texas. And 100 years from now, they're going to be looking back at what we've done today, and they're going to go, that was a turning point that shot this district to the very top. Providing opportunities for our kids that they might never have had. Every year when people go out on trips, regardless of what organization it is here in Canutillo, we take at least half of the kids that have never been out of this region. And that exposes them to a different life. So we're providing something much better for them. You know, as parents, we want our kids to do better than us. Well, our district is providing that for our kids. And 100 years from now, people are going to look back and they're going to go, that's the way it should be done.
Just have the Ramos, your great, great. Now, how do you do forward?
Well,
How do you do it forward?
grand.
Your granddaughter, when she paints me, just make me a little taller.
I'll tell
I
her.
just ask.
Well, and it's a good question you ask, because we've got to start thinking about legacy, right? That's what we're talking about. What's the legacy of Canutillo going to be 100 years from now? And I feel confidently that our district is going to set the pace. It's setting the pace for how the rest of Texas is going to educate a population that looks like the population of Texas, right? This school district is a snapshot of what Texas will look like in 20, 30 years. And we are doing the work here today that will really set precedent throughout the state. It's a diverse community. It's a community that brings together high income and low income students. It's a community that has traditions, but also is building new homes and new traditions. So I think they're going to be looking at us to see how school districts have developed plans to educate children in this environment.
I think, John, you brought your kids. Your kids go with you at BCE, and educating your children is important. But when you bring your two babies, your two that are on your taxes, right? Why did you bring them here?
There's wonderful things going on in our district, and I truly think that we're at a crossroads where we're going to continue to do great things. Rich culture, back-to-back A district, great things happening on every single campus, and more than anything, it's like family. And one of the things that when I shared with my staff when I was bringing my kids is that I believe in our community, I believe in our district, and this is the first time that my kids have been in any other district than Canutillo, and they are beyond happy. They're over the moon happy, and it just to take a step back as a father and not wear the principal hat. I see them happy, and there's great things happening, and we offer a lot of great diverse programs here. I'm excited for the direction of our music program. I'm excited for our academics, and they're excited to continue to learn here in this wonderful district.
Do they have to do CrossFit with you every day?
They don't have to do
You
CrossFit.
post those every day.
I sure do, but they don't have to do CrossFit, but they have done CrossFit with me before.
Mentioning the culture, I see you're very active on social media, really showcasing the wonderful things happening at BCE. Today, you engaged your parents in a very innovative and really simple but very powerful way. You had a little breakfast snack for them as they were dropping off kids. You were handing off a little baggie with something to eat for breakfast, but you stuffed that bag with tons of info they need to know to make sure that they're successful for the school year. Engaging parents and engaging the community is part of what makes the school successful. Talk about what plans you have to make sure that you continue developing this sort of connection to your community.
So I'm going to start on the first touch on the point that you spoke about on social media. And everybody has a cell phone now. Everybody has, whether it's a Twitter account, an Instagram, a Facebook account, TikTok, but it's how you tell your story. And everybody has a story. And there's so much negativity in the world right now. We hear it every day. And so it's our job as community members, I think, as instructional leaders and principals of our campus, to tell our campus story. And there's beautiful things happening every single day. And I'm very excited because there's a lot of great things happening at our school. We just had a pep rally this afternoon welcoming back our kids and teachers. But it is our opportunity you need to brand your school. Nobody's gonna sell your school but you. You know, and parents love that. Parents want to see those pictures of what's going on in the classroom. They can't go into the classrooms, you know, and so, but just to give them a small snapshot of what's going on in the Children's Day, whether, you know, they're going through the lunch line, you know, we had pozole today, or, you know, our breakfast on the go, you know, and seeing those smiling faces. And that breakfast on the go just evolved last year, you know, when we were still in that coming back from COVID, and, you know, we were just wanting to keep our parents informed, and, you know, parents were still on that fence, you know, do I come back to campus, do I not come back to campus? Some people were doing in virtual coffee with the principal and things like that, and we just wanted to once a month come together and, you know, hey, mom and dad, this is, you know, these are what we're doing in this month, you know, and so we have important, you know, flyers in there, you know, this is our SEL theme for the month, these are some activities you can do at home. We include our lunch menu, different things from our counselor, but we include it with a healthy snack, an apple, a water, I think there was a granola bar in there, and we invited our parents to come, and we had about 5 or 6 parent volunteers that helped, and that's all coordinated by my awesome parent liaison, Mr. Flores, and you know, just going there and greeting the parents in the morning. And so that's very important. And parent engagement, you know that with parent engagement, if you have a strong parent engagement in your community, increases the academics. And so one of the things that I really want to build on this year is that our school's open for business. Mom and dad, you are allowed to come to the building, but we really want to showcase this year, and this was one of the things that I learned at Harvard when that I attended this summer. There's a big difference between parent involvement and parent engagement. Parent involvement is really looking at, oh, you know, a pep rally, or let's do a fall festival, things like that. But do those truly have a direct impact on student achievement? Those are important for a school. They're part of the culture of the school. But that parent engagement, you know, showing mom and dad, you know, these are the skills your child's learning in kinder or first grade. You know, they're learning letters and sounds. These are some strategies that you can do with them at home, because that's going to truly move that academic needle, right? You want to empower your parents to truly be able to support their children at home, and parents do, but a lot of times parents are unsure what their child is learning, you know. And so what I truly want to work with my team, with my parents, is shifting that back to mom and dad, we want you here at school, but when you're here, we want to show you steps and tricks and strategies on how you can continue to support your baby at home. You know, literacy is so important, you know, so perhaps giving parents books that they can read, you know, things like that. We relaunched our BCE Reading University, and so we have our kids throughout the year reading books, and we want them to earn associate's degrees for reading so many books, bachelor's, and then ultimately their doctoral degree. So parent engagement is so important, and so I'm so excited that we are in a new normal, right? But it is about empowering our families to support their kids at home. How can we help them with their homework? Because in turn, it's going to help our babies become lifelong learners.
So, John, I think it's important that we build bridges with
Absolutely.
families, especially with COVID happening and distancing. But you mentioned Harvard, right? I want to brag about you all who went to Harvard, because we only have 10 campuses, 10 principals. But how many of y'all went to Harvard this summer?
There was 4 principals that went: Ms. Carrillo from Reyes, Mr. Judge from Canutillo Middle, Ms. Arellano from Neches, and myself from BCE. Wonderful opportunity. We applied, and it truly, you know, in talking with them, and it truly.
Who sponsored it?
Raise Your Hand Texas and the Charles Buck Foundation.
That's HEB.
That's HEB.
Okay. So we need Walmart and Albertsons to step up, and at least here in the region, to start sponsoring.
We also need HEB to come.
Yeah, if you don't want to help us, we go to HEB.
You know, it's such an exciting time for BCE. You know, you're doing great things. You're seeing a lot of engagement there, and you know, we're looking at a possibility of seeing tons of home development in that area. Dr. Galviz, you want to talk about the growth
The Kylie Estates.
Right.
What other estates that's happening above? How many homes?
So we have in total in the district right now planned, already under you know, plotted and ready to go, 2,000 new homes throughout the district. planned but not yet plotted is 7,000. That's a lot of home construction. That's
We're
a lot of home
growing.
construction. We're growing, and we're growing in all parts of the district, right? We're seeing a lot of growth here in the 79911 zip code, which is by where all the new stores are, and we see that that's very very evident. But BCE, up there in Vinton, we're getting new homes, and we're excited about welcoming people into the district. I know, Dr. Galviz, we heard some concern from parents this year, but I think that's ill-placed and sort of misguided concern about welcoming new people into our community.
Our mission statement is about all kids. And you were there at the board meeting that they were claiming that we were chasing Title I,
Right.
i.e. poor kids. And I find it very
Disheartening.
disheartening. You say it nicely. I just think it's sad when the adult does not welcome any child into this world, regardless of how where they were born, whether the royal family or Derek Jeter or a migrant family like me, and stereotype those communities as crime and drug infested. It was hard to keep myself because it's open forum, because you're not allowed to engage, but it's just to me it's very disheartening as to use your. But I don't know, Dr. Brown, what do you think of someone saying that?
Well, I grew up here, and I went to the old Canutillo High School over there where Canutillo Middle School is at. 70% of us in high school worked in the onion fields, picking onion in summer to buy our clothes for the school year. We worked hard. We were poor. I remember days when my mom would put flour in the beans so we would have enough beans to eat. I remember many times my dad saying he didn't want another serving because he was full, and we knew that he wasn't, so that we could have food. You know what? We didn't turn out criminals. We got lawyers, we got doctors, we've got people that have done amazing things, we got teachers, we've got everything. Our community, Canutillo, is an awesome place. Our people are great people. We might be disadvantaged to a certain extent, at least maybe financially, but that doesn't mean that we're intellectually damaged or that we're socially damaged. We're not. We're amazing people. Our kids are great. The kids that we have now are amazing kids. We got to do things for their future. We want them to have something better than what we had.
Well, I think there was this perception at this meeting that we're chasing after money that's available because of Title I, and I don't think people understand the challenges that come with educating a Title I student. We welcome that student, we embrace that student because that is our community. There's about 40 feeder patterns for high schools in the county, and every single one of those feeder patterns is a Title I feeder pattern. There's no one chasing Title I status here. We're all Title I here in El Paso, and people need to know that. We don't chase Title I because it brings in money, because there's challenges in that. We welcome them because that's our community, and that's what people need to realize. And the other thing is also that this perception that a Title I student or family is going to bring in crime and drugs is not only misguided, it's also incorrect.
Absolutely.
It's also incorrect.
Well, John, do you not want that development in Vinton? Should we just say stop? I mean, we don't need kids. We don't need.
Again, we have the most beautiful children here in Canutillo. Our kids truly deserve it, and it's all about equity. I truly believe in equity, and I think it's an exciting time of all these new sub-developments. We will be welcoming brand new families to our campus next fall, and that's an exciting time. But it's also a time where we need to take a step back and what needs to be revisited. Our facilities need some work, and our kids deserve it. They deserve to be educated in beautiful classroom environments.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned that because, for example, our band room was designed back in the early 2000s for what band was back then.
Absolutely.
I sent Mr. Reveles a picture earlier today of the band practicing in the band room, and we filled up the entire room, not inch by inch, but because of the change in the program, the change in the equipment that we use. Those facilities can no longer handle us. And if we want our kids to experience what other schools have, not in money, but in quality of education, we need to put a foot forward. We need to say, hey, we need to move forward with something. I was excited to hear that we're coming back to the community with a proposal for a bond issue. I mean, we need these facilities. We need to stand behind the kids. These aren't for me. I'm gonna a few years from now, I'm not gonna be here anymore. But those kids are gonna be here year after. You talked about the next 100 years. Well, this is the seed for that next 100 years.
And you know, we had a meeting on Monday where we presented a preliminary sort of work for what we will be presenting to the school board for consideration as far as the bond is related. And there is investment there for many things: fine arts, education, campus improvement, safety and security, and growth. We're talking about all these issues, and it's not a coincidence, you know, that we're talking about this. It's really top of mind for all of us here because we see it every day. We see the need for a response to our growth. We see a need to a response for equity, like you mentioned, and we see a need in response to program. You know, when we're talking about fine arts and we're talking about building this great band program, we're talking about, you know, the visual arts with the mural. We also know that while we're at the forefront, we need to be not just at the forefront. We need to be innovative. We need to be thinking about, you know, what's up and coming, right? Developing programs that are not available to our kids right now and that our kids need. Orchestra, making sure that they have, like you mentioned, the space to practice that is not just adequate, that is innovative. All these things that our community deserves, and as we're seeing more and more people come in, whether they're, you know, at BCE or at CHS, that they deserve that.
Absolutely.
Yes, they do.
But you know, we're going to be coming back to the community with more information. We want to make sure that the public is well informed, that they get facts about this upcoming program if the school board decides to go for a bond election, and so that they're armed with the right information when they head to the polls. They make a decision based on what's best for their family.
Yeah, because last bond there was so much disinformation. Again, I said it last week, but disinformation was really to destroy the bond. And when you destroy the bond, I mean, that's an investment in our future, investment in kids. And I think that's where, again, you know, arm yourself with facts.
And you know, and not to discount the feeling in the community. I think there's some bona fide sentiment about you know, and concerns about what's out there. I think we need to address those. There's no doubt.
But I think also, Gus, what was mind for me blowing in the meeting when our financial advisor said, because the bond didn't pass in 2021, we lost $40 million of bond capacity because of inflation. So we went from 2% to 4%. Right. And that's $40 million where we weren't going to raise taxes, even though people says we were, you know, liars, but we weren't. But now because we didn't invest in our kids and everything's going up, like gas, food, milk, groceries, now we lost $40 million in bond capacity.
Right. And you know, honestly, we're going to be losing not more than capacity, but everything's going to be much more expensive to build. And you know, we're going to have to do a good job of explaining this to the public if we go out for a bond. But definitely, you know, not getting the support from the community on that bond was you know, a message that we received. We're gonna receive that and take that to heart and offer up you know, ways to fix whatever concerns they have. But we're also cognizant and and fully aware that the need didn't go away. You know, there's clear need in Canutillo, and that doesn't go away. No matter your dissatisfaction aside, we still need to address these issues. We still need to address blacktops at BCE, crowded band rooms at CHS. That doesn't go away.
No, it doesn't. And one of the things, again, we were talking earlier about the 2011 bond. You know, mistakes were made. They were made. We had it audited, but all the money has been accounted for.
Yes.
And promises were not kept. The K through 8 at Reyes, that's on everybody's what happened. But again, it goes back to there wasn't sufficient amount of kids at that time to build a K through 8. And K through 8 are more expensive.
Yeah.
Because you have UIL, 7th and 8th grade that you gotta, so.
And we will be able to share with the public, an accounting of every penny that was spent, and it adds up to what we told the public we would raise as far as bonds are related. We understand again that mistakes were made, and we're gonna have to own up to that. But then also offer up systems to make sure that doesn't happen again. And I think we're committed to doing that.
Yep. And we're going to ask the board to do a compact with the community, to make a promise to the community to say, we're going to build a fine arts, we're going to build at BCE, the multi-purpose, the blacktop. We're even looking at putting new playground equipment, and we're going to make that public. And
right.
We're all going to sign it.
Yeah, we're going to be sharing a lot more info on this, and I think we're excited about engaging with the community, and we're excited about avenues like this one that allows us to do that. And I want to, thank our guest today.
Yeah.
For coming in and sitting down and having this frank conversation.
For having us.
So I wanna. My son taught me this, Gabriel. Yes. He's on his way to Gonzaga. But if you play a favorite instrument, comment what instrument is it. Comment down below. Does that make sense?
Right. Like and comment.
Yeah, like and comment.
Yeah. No, we're hoping to get a lot more traction on these conversations. They're great conversations, and that's where the Convo comes in, right? And we're gonna do it every week, as long as people really want to engage. And it's another way for us to engage the community and share information and share factual information with people, so that they're again armed with the facts and armed with what they need to do to make their families.
Random thought. When is tax-free weekend? Is it this week?
You know what? I don't know. I think it might have passed already.
Is it passed already? Tax-free weekend?
I think it's this weekend.
It's this weekend? Tax-free weekend is this weekend. I didn't know. I was kind of wondering because school started so.
I know it started so early.
So,
go shopping.
Witch Doctor, can you hum me some? Because I'm trying to think of the song. I don't know. Can you hum it or sing it a little bit before we close out, Dr. Ramos?
Not at all, because it's very rhythmic.
We got rhythm.
You have to come see it. It's going to be something that our town has never seen.
Right.
Our school has never seen. We've got choreography with the band, dancing the band. I mean, it's a whole story about a witch doctor raising people from the dead and what occurs.
Is it going to be open to the public? Everyone go to Las Cruces?
Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, we will even start performing it at the football games a little bit at a time. But the big premiere of it is BOA. BOA is at New Mexico State University, open to the public. Obviously, there's a charge for the tickets. I don't know what it's going to be. But there's going to be a lot of bands there from all over this region of the United States.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Whoever knows Witch Doctor, let me know.
And we will see you next week in the next episode of Canutillo Convos.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.